Okay, hello again, Year 8. You're watching this video if you have finished the Warhol quick questions, those 5 questions from the Andy Warhol slides. That would have been working through these slides here. Scroll back up. Working through these slides, looking at his artworks, watching the video, reading the article, and answering those 6 questions. And that would have been submitted on Google Classroom with your teacher. So we're just going to move on to the next part, which is the informal assessment. So we're going to mark these ones. Warhol's conceptual framework. Okay, so answer the following questions in full sentences in this document. So when you click on this, it will open up the document for you to fill out. I'm sure your teacher will also post it on Google Classroom for you. And you'll be answering these 3 questions here. Now you'll notice underlined are describe and explain. Now these are the skills that we're looking for within this task. If I was to say describe something, we're going to be providing the characteristics and features of. You need to pretend you're describing in enough detail so the reader can imagine the artwork as if you're painting a picture in their mind. So don't just say any colour. What sort of colours? What sort of line? What sort of subject matter, what sort of lady, what does she look like? So as much detail as you can. Then to explain, we have to go further. We are then explaining why and or how. So you're giving reasons for. So why and or how. So they're the 2 skills that we're looking at. Now you'll be using this artwork as the basis for these questions. So this one's Marilyn Monroe, 1967. You have to use this artwork for these questions. Okay. Just skip down to here. Now we've provided some vocabulary here for you to use, and you'll notice, and you've done these last year too, the green and blue words that we referred to. Now blue words are art vocab. Blue words are words that belong in the art room that talk about art. Just the same way that calculator, subtraction, equation would be maths words. So blue words are words that belong in the art room to do with art or the movement, etc. So you can see this lovely big list of pop art words here. I would hope that a lot of these, or a few of them at least, go into your response. Then we get to green words. Green words are descriptive language or adjectives to describe. Now you'll see some categories here. So if I was to say, describe the colour within the work, describe the texture, describe the shapes. You could say the shapes are distorted, organic shapes. They're blurred, they're heavy, they're geometric shapes, instead of just saying there's shapes in the artwork. So these are all words to help describe what you're talking about. If we jump back up to this model response here, a question you'll be answering yourself, describe the subject matter and composition of the artwork. Subject matter being what you see. Composition being how is it arranged? What's where? How big are things compared to each other? What's around it? What's in the foreground, mid-background, background? The plan, layout or arrangement. If you just run your eyes across that response, the blue words are words that belong in the art room. The green words are adjectives or descriptive words. So not just any boy, a young boy. Not just gripping, tightly gripping. A small yellow bird, protective pose, glaring upwards. So these are words to help describe the artwork in detail. So they're the blue and the green words. You can have a little read through that yourself to see the model response, but it's talking about the subject matter in the artwork being a young boy who looks frightened, tightly gripping a bird, a small yellow bird close to his chest. The composition is a close-up of him. He takes up the majority of the work. It's positioned in the foreground, but the bottom left-hand corner. Right-hand corner, I do apologise. Asymmetrical and unbalanced because he's sitting to one side and his body is cropped. All those things talk about the composition of the artwork. Let's get to the task. So when you open up the link, you will see this. Okay, so these are the 3 questions. You can go and read all the little nitty-gritty to help you out with the questions in your own time, but you pop your name up the top. Okay, first question, you're describing the artwork. Same question. Describe the subject matter and composition of the artwork. We've done most of the work for you. If you read what's in grey and red, you can see we've composed a response. You just need to fill in the red bits. The subject matter of, name the artwork, name the artist, is, and describe what you see. The artwork is composed from. So what I'd be doing here, and I'll delete this in a moment, what I'd be doing here is copying and pasting this into here and filling out the red bit. When it says to talk about composition, it gives you some ideas of what sort of things you can talk about. And if I was to give you a bit of a hint, we jump back to the artwork, I can see 5 faces in one row. There are 2 rows. There are 10 altogether. I'm going to stop there. That was me talking about composition. When you talk about the subject matter, you'd be talking about it's a woman's face. I want you to keep going and be as descriptive as you can. So that's the first one. And I've said highlight your descriptive language in green and your art words and pop art words in blue for an extra challenge. Next, you'll be explaining why. So giving reasons why this artwork is pop art. So in order to do this, you'll need to understand a little bit about what pop art is. And there's great information that you would have learned and you would have read within that Google Slides. And again, we've got a hint here. So explain why Warhol's practice is considered pop art. So what about it ticks the boxes of pop art? You need to explain the response there. And I've made that one less. It's 50 to 75 words, but we're explaining, we're giving reasons for. Again, highlight in blue and green. Last question. Explain how. So again, explain is how and or why, how the art is created. So in my last video, I would have talked about, I'll give you the hint, it's a screen print. A silk screen print is how he created it. Now you're going to have to do a little bit of research into this. So explain how Andy Warhol created this art. Think about techniques and processes. So what techniques did he use? What techniques did he use? So how did he do it? And his processes, so the steps. The technique he used to create his artwork is called what? Silkscreen printing. This technique is defined as, find a definition of this, and the tools that were necessary to compose this, name the tools, and the process involved in silkscreen printing is, and list some steps. Okay, I might make that word limit a little bit more because I don't think you'll get through it in all those words. And that's that. And you'll need to submit that. So we're looking for some really good responses, really good language, blue and green words in there. This is building your skills in order to write something very, very descriptive and good explanation for your formal task, which will be coming next term. So what we expect you to do for your formal written task, that happens next term. So make sure you stay up to date with classroom and what your teacher is setting. Thanks, boys. Good luck.